I'm super excited. We're fixing to get this huge band of what I'm told is great big snowflakes. That's pretty funny when us rednecks down here in Texas get excited. Oh my God, it's gonna snow. It's not ice, it's gonna snow. Okay.
Yeah, no, that fucking it was weird because it was cold as shit, and I guess the wind must have kicked up because that little dusting we got last night. The wind fucking blew it away. I went to let the dogs out this morning and went, where'd all the snow go that was there last night? Damn, I need to pick up my backyard. A fucking bunch of trash blew in from somewhere.
I was just gonna give you a hard time, man. That's heavy, dude. I mean, I know you can deadlift some shit, but the whole backyard?
I gotta pick up the whole backyard.
The whole back, not part of it.
Fire fucking shit.
That's fucking great. Like I don't know. I'm still fucking tripping on why the fuck you want to fuck with the Joker family, bruh? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't make any sense, and it's not smart.
What do you mean you can't come up? Is your finger broke?
No, her husband is home for the weekend.
Oh,
yeah. So, but at least she doesn't have the P pneumonia, says the doctor. So that's a good thing.
that is a good thing.
Yeah, she gave me. I talked to her this morning. I wanted to check on her.
Yeah, she'd be fucking. She'd be dropping those fucking messages.
She warned them,
Then
they turned around and got in live streams. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Said you forgot, but I didn't.
I mean, ugh. Keep doing your mulling, honey. Be religious. Put on a simmer pot. Frank, I don't know why the fuck you're here. Just to fucking follow around Serena like a weird creeper in the corner of a strip bar.
She might have
diddling your bean.
She just might have rolled on through.
We know better than that, Aldo. She's never been in our live before. Ever. Not once.
Is that true?
Never. Not since I've been modding for you. Not one time. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I've talked to. He was entertaining her to keep her from.
I don't know what you're talking about. We don't care.
I don't.
We don't give a fuck.
Now, hang. To be fair, I have had limited interactions with Frank, and they've all been amicable.
Yeah, I mean, we don't care.
But other than that, I don't.
And I wasn't talking to you at all. I don't know why you're here other than to stir up shit. So.
Well, yeah, I was talking about those because I've known Serena for a long time, and she posted it. It showed up on my FYP, so I made a comment about it.
We can do that. That doesn't mean we're talking about you, permanent victim.
Yeah, it wasn't derogatory to you. As a matter of fact, I didn't even mention you. I was talking about just those messages that were directed at Mr. O, not you.
Yeah. Why? I mean, you don't even like me? Wow. Your DMs and text messages say something totally different, but I digress. That's how you roll. Just because Serena's in here doesn't mean you need to come in, sit in the corner table of the strip bar, flick your bean, and start shit.
I mean, if Autumn wants to type away in the basement, then by all means, type away in the basement.
Nobody threatened you. Jesus Christ. You all sound like fucking liberals. No one threatened you. She told you she was going to put up the proof. That's what she's going to do. Welcome to 2026. Have a good day. I don't care if you fucking trust me. Who the fuck are you, young lady? I have kids older than you, you weirdo. I don't do women that are fucking man-based for fucking attention and validation. We had those conversations, young lady. Don't think you could come in here and run your fucking mouth to me, because you cannot. You don't know me and I don't know you. And unless you want to have a problem with me, Keep my fucking name out of your mouth. I have nothing to do with what's going on between you and her.
Yeah, that's...
Don't fucking poke the bear, bitch. I woke up and chose violence the year of 2026. That's how it's going down this year.
So Autumn, my position is this. If Serena has something to say, then Serena has something to say. If I find it amusing, I'm going to say, that's funny. I'm going to say it amuses me. Other than that, I know nothing about it. And I'm not digging into it. And I sent you a DM because I was confused why suddenly there's all this shit about you showing up on my FYP. Not from Serena, but from other people.
Exactly.
And not about you and Serena, about something unrelated. That's why I sent you that DM. Because I wanted to be clear on what was going on. Because I didn't understand. So that was a separate thing from whatever it is that you have going on with Serena that I have nothing to do with.
Fucking weirdo. Oh, good Lord, girl. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to be real. I've said these words to you before. You need therapy. You, my young lady, have issues where you are man-centered and feel the need to be involved with some man somewhere while you're involved with some other men somewhere else. I don't really give a fuck, but you have a big problem with loyalty. You insert yourself into shit and surround yourself with people that you think give you a backbone. That doesn't work over here.
My thoughts and opinions on the whole, and it goes for both men or women, that, look, there's something wrong with your medulla oblongata if you seek out somebody that is in a committed relationship or has not terminated their relationship. Their relationship might be on the rocks, but
you are, man.
You and the other person that partake in a relationship outside of their marriage, that's not cool on both parts. That's
Did you just call your fucking TikTok relationship that exists on an electronic device a relationship? You fucking goddamn get the fuck out of here.
I'm referring. Oh, okay. If Mr. O's relationship with his own wife has been over for years, I defer to legal separation versus verbal separation. I defer to legal divorce.
Right.
Like me personally, and I had one time in my life where a woman that was legally separated, but not divorced. Now, this is just me. I told her that nothing would ever come between me and her unless she was legally divorced. You stay over there.
Yeah, I didn't even date.
That's just me.
I didn't even date.
If anybody else is okay with engaging with a relationship with somebody that's only legally separated or separated just by mutual agreement and not by legal paperwork, then that's, to me, that's just odd.
It's a sin. It's a whole ass sin, honey, in your little book you stand on. Anyway, moving on. I didn't even date until mine were final.
I didn't even, look, I've never engaged in a relationship with somebody that was dating another person and I knew about it.
Never. But you do you, pumpkin.
Don't do that.
You do you, pumpkin. We don't, listen, Bright, let me just make it simple for you. This is between you and her, not you and us. I've been knowing Serena a fuck ton longer than you have. Whether you think you knew her or not, trust me, I know her better. We are not involved. Keep your fuck shit centered and focused on your issue and stop triangulating. How's that? There's that.
My thing is, and I don't know, I'm only going off of what I can garner from social media. I don't know because I've never asked Frank. I've never asked Autumn.
Okay, this is
But I'm
what
gonna
she
ask.
said.
But I'm gonna ask you now, Autumn. You had a life off of social media. Why suddenly, for all purposes intended, from my position, it seems like you suddenly appeared on social media on TikTok, and you're still here.
Who brought you to
You had a
TikTok?
life for years. You and
Who
your son.
found you?
Why come here and stay here now?
Because she's addicted. It's like her drug of choice now. Girl, talking. Oh my God, Aldo, you were talking about it. I came in to correct. You can't correct anything here. This isn't your fucking live.
You
This is
corrected me.
Aldo's live.
You corrected me because I laughed at something I thought was funny. That's
God,
odd.
you're a child.
How can you correct what I find humorous?
We
How
don't
does that
need you
work?
to correct anything.
Autumn, how does that work? How do you correct something that I find humorous? I genuinely like to know.
That's funny. Oh no! Somebody said something about something. Somebody posted about me, and it was a whole ass receipt from a text message, and somebody said it. Let me come in and correct them to the narrative that goes on in my mind.
Aldo, I'm confused as to what you mean by me
Queenie,
correcting
honey,
you
I don't
laughing
think
at
this is a
something.
safe live.
Okay, were you talking about you were correcting me because I found it humorous?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Not at all. I was just correcting that the reason why Mr. O was being kind and like on Serena's side in those messages was to keep her calm and from crashing out on
I don't
me and
believe that.
exposing everything that
Well,
she
okay.
was
Now
saying to
hang
him
on.
that she was going to expose.
Before I formulate any heavy opinions on it, I will just wait to see what other messages she releases. It's not that I'm looking. It's not that I'm going to her page and looking. They're showing up in my FYP.
And there are three sides, young lady, and
But
all
now,
three sides have a version.
hang on. Let me finish. Since you're here in a box, and Serena, I'll bring you up in a minute. Hang on.
She can't. Oh, wait, she can. Okay, here we go.
Hang on.
Just be quiet.
Let me ask Autumn this. You had a life. You, and I imagine you still have a life off the app. My question to you is this: when you decided, or by your own thoughts and feelings, or whether somebody reached out to you, when you came to this small corner of TikTok, why stay? Why stay? Why stick around?
Because I've met people here that I genuinely like.
Okay. That's all that I mean, that's fair. That's all I was wondering, because it seemed like a lot of people in the beginning wanted to use your story as a weapon, and it seemed like you allowed it.
How?
Except for when Igloo posted your court documents, which you literally begged him not to do, and he did it anyway. So I remember that, but after that, I didn't follow anything because I felt it was rather distasteful to use your story, your personal story of your interactions with Austin, as a weapon against him. I don't commiserate with that. I don't use people's personal lives as weapons against them.
Okay. So Serena keeps bringing up Austin to use against me. So how do we feel about that?
Has she recently, or has this whole
Yes.
thing been about?
Has been
I haven't seen it.
hashtagging him in her
Oh
like
no, not the
captions.
hashtag.
I'm just saying,
Oh
like
my God.
she's subtly threatening that. So I don't know how you feel about that. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, I have a question.
On a hashtag, I don't.
Yeah, I have a question. So it's okay. Let me get this straight.
I tagged
It's
Austin.
okay for all of you guys, or you, or whoever, to say, do, tag, hashtag, whatever you want, and that's okay. But you want to fucking police after someone has you blocked and told you she was done, everything that comes out of her mouth, and then you want us to explain, or Aldo, how we see something that seemed to be because he doesn't know. No, that's not how it's going to go over here. You're
I
not.
don't understand what you're trying to say, Lena.
I don't understand
So
what's going on.
Serena has said over and over again, and even in my own lives, just leave her alone.
Leave her alone.
I haven't done anything to her until yesterday. I've had enough.
Lies.
Every time I haven't. Every time that
Lies.
somebody tries to attack Serena, she brings up me and
That's
threatens
what you
to
did.
expose me.
Well, do you know why? Because I'm apparently she hasn't explained this to you properly so it absorbs. So let me come at you for mommy wisdom. Because you choose to sit over there with the 5150 Club and participate in the smearing and bashing of her.
Where
That is
I would like
I'm
for you to
speaking.
show
I'm
that
not
and
done.
prove
I'm
it.
not done, young lady. As her former best friend, you need to learn some life lessons, then they're painful. As a former best friend, the last thing you should fucking do is turn and fucking do that when someone walks away from you. No means no. She has said no repetitive. I have seen everything. I've been here through this with you too. She has repetitively said, leave me alone. Every time someone else you sit around fucks with me that you're actively sitting around and participating in, it's going to come down on you. This is very simple, and I don't understand why your simple mind is not grasping it. Just walk away and stop. And she will stop. This is pattern for Serena. You should know this by now. I don't understand why you're having a hard time absorbing this, that you feel like you need to follow her around or address everything that anyone else is paying attention to. It is silly, immature, and ridiculous. Don't you have more important? You have school, you have children. What are you doing?
Okay, give her a chance to respond.
I think you missed the whole part where I said anytime that somebody addresses Serena for whatever issues they have with her, she throws me out there and my stuff
I heard it.
as a shield.
I heard it. It's not a shield. Don't flatter yourself. It's not a shield. You are actively sitting over there with those women. I've watched this all go down ever since that shit went down with Katie. You actively chose to do this. This is what this means. Repercussions of your behavior, young lady. It's simple. Just drink a giant cup of shut the fuck up, move on, and go be happy with your internet TikTok relationship. No disrespect, but why is it so hard for you? You thrive on the chaos. I've watched you do it for almost a year now. And I've been directly involved in a lot of it. Let's not even get started on how I got involved. We won't even go there.
So I'm not, obviously I'm not involved. I have no skin in this game. And like I said, mine and your conversation in DM just, last week I think it was only because I'd seen other videos not related to this. And I was trying to get, a little bit of a clarification. And you gave me that clarification and that was it. Good to go. So what I've seen from Serena, at least, before the whole let's all yell at each other in a live just the other day, before that, the only thing that she had been, that I was aware of, that she had been posting or interacting with is me and Lena and a couple of the Glory Hounds and a couple of the GFF on their content, which had nothing to do with you. So I'm a little bit confused as to why suddenly everybody jumped in a live just the other day and it was all bash on Serena. Like I'm confused on why people felt that was necessary.
Expose me again, and I did not come into the live and bash her. I did not do that. I didn't even attack her.
I didn't say you, I said people. The people that were yelling and screaming in the live
The only person who was yelling and screaming in that live was Serena.
I defer to the other people. I literally have the live recording. There was other people that were talking in a very aggressive tone, if that suits you better. So my question
Wait, who
again,
was the one that was talking in an aggressive tone?
We're not,
stay
quit
on topic.
deflecting.
Stay on topic. The topic is, if she was not that icing, if she wasn't posting about you, posting about Mr. O, she was only sharing and engaging with my content, what my content was and currently is, and with Lena's current content that had nothing to do with you or Mr. O or anybody else, why then it appears that suddenly this was an issue where she was not engaging with you or Mr. O at all?
Or any
Why
of them.
Because
suddenly-
in that live, if you have the whole thing recorded, she brings up that she is going to expose me.
Because if everybody doesn't leave her alone, that's the way it's going to go. What would be the logical
So
But in
we're
that
going to
live,
go
it
back to
started
the
in the
point
ba-
that I had is that whenever other people start attacking Serena, she throws me out there like a shield.
Can I answer now?
It started
Can I
in the
speak
basement,
now?
Autumn, and you might not have known it because
Jesus.
you weren't in there. It started in the basement where they were throwing shit at her about you and Mr. O.
She didn't bring
they
you
weren't
up.
I reviewed that live. I didn't record it. I have rewatch. So I reviewed it. They weren't talking about anything to do with you and Mr. O, and then a few people started coming up in the basement and started making snide comments at
Your
her,
people,
and
by
she
the
started
way.
responding to it. So my question again is this: if she's not doing this, then why are we now suddenly engaging with her on it when she wasn't even doing anything to begin with previous to that incident?
If you have a problem with the topic coming up, you should go and rip up AFF Gobright because he's the one that fucking started it, not her. So then again, boom, all of a sudden we have an influx of everybody you choose to sit around, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck. And y'all all come over there because it's Carrie's live and Terry is there, and they're just over there talking about cookies and recipes and life. So, boom.
Okay, from what I saw was that Go Bright had mentioned Mr. O. Serena started getting upset about that and then brought up me.
Can I answer? Can
Yes,
I answer?
you
For the
can.
love of God. Because you keep asking Aldo and Lena why I'm doing something. First of all, let's talk about what triangulation is, Frank. Did you come in here not knowing, and this is a rhetorical question, I already know the answer. Did you come in here not knowing that I was here to talk to Aldo and Lena about me? That is triangulation. That is what it is. I came in here to say hi to Lena and Aldo. Excuse me.
I
So
made
you
the reference
came in
to her
here-
post and I found it amusing. Lena laughed with me. That was it. That was the whole context.
You came in here to disprove my receipts to Lena and Aldo. That is the definition of triangulation.
Yeah. it is.
Okay? Second of all, I was in a live on my other account, minding my business, talking to a few girls about the damn weather and how the fact we're all sick. AFF Go Bright, which is a person that you are involved in, came in and started talking shit about Mr. O and me. I know that he is running around with that narrative. I know he is. No, you stay on mute. I stayed on mute this whole time. I know he is.
He started
I know. And I even said in the live yesterday. Sorry, my voice. Did you or did you guys not send screenshots to Brittany Ann? He lied in that live and said no. I also have him on text message claiming that he never sent anything to Brittany Ann. And then he said later that yes, he did. You two pulled Brittany Ann to attack me while you guys went off the app. That is what you do, Frank. That is what you do. I asked you both 3 times in the live yesterday. Girl, you've talked for like 20 minutes. Shut up. I asked you both in the live yesterday to leave me alone. I said, from here on out, don't talk about me. Don't use anybody to attack me, and we're good. Did I or not say that? multiple times. And you went radio silent until you said, well, I'm not comfortable being threatened. Leave me alone and I won't come after you. It's that fucking simple. You don't want it to stop. I know you, Frank. I know what you do. You use people to attack other people while you sit over there and look innocent. So,
hang on. Give Frank a chance to respond to Serena.
Okay. She said a lot. Let me think. I don't remember what she said. I'm sorry.
Lord, why are you,
Of course you
Pumpkin?
don't.
Why are you here?
Then why are you here?
Why are you
Because
here?
You came here to try and get in the ears of Lena and Aldo.
You can't.
So here's my side of it. One, yes, me and Lena, not me and Lena. I'm not going to include Lena on this.
You can.
I found it amusing what she said in her quote when she posted those receipts. I made a comment about it. If you are uncomfortable with me making any kind of statements about those posts, if you ask me just not to make statements in lives about those posts, I'll respect that and not. It's simple as that. I found it amusing, and that's it. And I laughed.
We weren't even going to talk about it after this.
No,
She thrust.
Serena wasn't even in a box at that time. It was just me and Lena. And Lena laughed, and that was it. We were moving on with the topic. As a matter of fact, I was talking about I have to clean up my yard. So this is what I'm saying to you. If it makes you feel it necessary to correct me, or not even correct me, or to give me insight where you feel I don't have insight, let me tell you this. I don't have a vested interest on the back and forth between you three or four or who is ever going on. What I do have a vested interest in is if I'm making a comment solely from my own standpoint, it's my standpoint. And if you want to engage with me or not, that's up to you. But don't go after her just because I found something amusing. That's what I'm
not
saying.
going after anyone. I was just correcting the narrative that was trying to be.
Why
spun
do you
in this
need to
message.
do that here?
Okay,
We're not a part of it.
So you're trying to correct
You're
a narrative.
engaging with it, so how? I mean,
Oh
if
my
you guys are
God. You
engaging
need
with
to
it,
grow
then
up,
there's
girl.
just told
three
you
sides to
that
every
my-
story. I have
Grow
every
up.
right to say
Okay.
the
Then
side of
post
my
yours.
story.
Post
Then post
yours.
them.
But I
Post yours,
told
I don't
you,
care.
I just told you, Autumn, that the only
No,
thing
Sam.
I did was to find amusement in what she posted. That's it. That's it. There was no more discussion about it. There was no, and eventually, that topic did move on to going after or engaging with people that are not fully
Stay in the
divorced.
basement.
That was a general topic. That was just how I feel. That's not based on your actions. That's based on a lot of people on this app's actions that I've seen. Whether the person, and this is just my opinion, this is just how I operate off the app. There is not a single time I've ever engaged in a relationship with somebody that was married but not fully divorced, or even dating another person. Just simply they tell me that it's on the rocks and it's over. I don't listen to that. That's just me personally. That's how I am off the app. And that was the topic of the discussion. Now, if you felt that that was related to you, I'm telling you it wasn't. It was a generalized, we're talking about
I didn't even
this.
know that you guys were talking about that.
Well, we weren't. You're wrong. Because we don't care.
I'm
don't
telling
care.
you that was not the course of the conversation. It wasn't specifically outlining your behavior or Mr. O's behavior or anybody else specifically. It was just more of talking about behavior that not only that I have experienced in my own life, but have seen on this app from other people. I'm sorry that you are now included with a group of people that have engaged with another person in a personal relationship that is either currently married or currently with somebody and not legally separated from that person or not legally divorced from that person. I have some opinions about that. I'm sorry that you just happen to be in that group. Now, if Mr. O is legally separated, I guess y'all peace, love, and be happy, whatever. I, myself, my opinion is, unless it's a divorce and it's finalized, I'm not going to engage with that relationship. And I don't think anybody would be well off to engage with a relationship with a married individual, man or woman, that is not fully divorced. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it is, or tell me to fuck off.
It's his right to have his opinion.
But it had nothing to do with you. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking Mr. O. I'm not.
And Sam, I wasn't being disrespectful, but Aldo has said when he's doing civil discourse, he's going to deal with one thing at a time. And when he's done dealing with that, somebody else can do what they need to do. So I'm following the rules he set before me. So
Samantha, I don't even look at the basement when I'm engaging with people in the boxes. Yeah. I don't. Sorry.
Sam, I mean,
you're not that important.
I would like to hear what you have to say, but obviously at the right place. A lot of people want to.
I'm getting coffee, Lena. If she wants a box, give her a box.
Absolutely. I just wanted you to be done with what you were doing and not jump from thing to thing. You're welcome to have one. I just needed
Frank, by the way, Aldo leaves that comment on every single one of my videos. So you can
Mine too.
Calm down. You can calm down.
I wasn't upset about anyone commenting on anything or any of that. Like I said, there's like Lena had said.
Why do you need to correct me?
Good God, why do you bring it up then?
Why do you don't need to correct me?
Frank, I'm posting receipts. Receipts don't lie, girly pop. They don't lie.
Babe, let me break this down for you again.
Jesus.
I don't care.
By the way, this is why I stopped being friends with you, because anytime that anyone tries to say anything like this to you and, hey, like, this bothers me, that bothers me, you take no accountability for anything. It is talking to a brick wall, and it's exhausting. Hi, Sam. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
Oh, that's fine. I don't understand, Frank, what you're doing in this live. I don't understand. I'm not gonna be mean to you. I don't understand. I don't understand how you're seeing Serena's videos. I don't understand why you care so much. If it's not true, what Serena's saying, if that's not true, I don't understand why you care so much. And I don't understand any of that. If you're trying to move on, I don't understand what you're doing here in a box. I don't understand why you feel a need to clarify anything or clear up a narrative about anybody. If it's not true, then just leave it alone.
I've always been a firm believer that facts speak for themselves and the truth will come out no matter what. So that's what I'm trying to figure out is what the hell we're even doing here.
I agree. I feel like for the past 2 days, I scroll into a live and Serena's getting bum rushed by people. And I don't understand it. And it's always on behalf of Frank and Mr. O, both grown adults who seem to be happy with each other. And I adore Mr. O. I adore him. But I don't understand why this is continuing to go. If you guys are in a happy, like, solid relationship, I just don't understand what anything that Serena has to say would affect that in any way.
No one said that it was affecting my relationship with Mr. O, but they were talking about it in this live whenever I was scrolling by.
Lies.
It wasn't even in a box. You're a liar.
I said you guys.
You are a liar.
Okay, but so if they are, so what? What does it matter if they are? What does it matter?
Am I not allowed to address things that I know?
You came in here. I actually came in here just to say hi. I said I can't be in here long. They were talking about something else. You popped in the comment section right after me and said that you didn't know that I was here and you wanted to talk to Lena and Aldo about the receipts I dropped. Lena, Aldo, did she
Yeah.
or did she not say that?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Why?
I literally just said that that's what I came in here to do.
But why? But why? That's what I don't understand.
I love it. Just proving you're a liar. Keep
Her,
going.
her
What?
post wasn't even
How did I
about
prove
you.
that I was
That's
a
the
liar?
thing that I don't understand. Her post was directed at Mr. O.
Let's
Correct.
pretend. Hold on, Frank. Let's pretend for a second that Serena's a liar. Let's pretend that she manipulates information, right? I don't know. I haven't looked that far into it. Don't necessarily care. But let's pretend for a second that Serena is just pathological liar, takes things out of context, presents them to people out of context, and completely changes the narrative of things. What do you care? How does that affect you in any way, shape, or form?
Cricket.
Because what I don't see is you going live on your own platform to correct misinformation. I don't see you making videos to correct misinformation. I don't see you doing any of that. I see other people defending you. I see you being very evasive in answering questions. And I see you purposely going to where somebody who you claim continues to lie about you, like following that person around to correct things that you believe that they're saying about you, or if you come up as a topic. You're on TikTok. You're Austin Foreman's ex. You have a child with him. You're going to be a topic of conversation on this app. It's just how it is.
Okay, so you just said that people are coming to my defense and I'm not correcting things, but I literally just said that's what I came in here to do in
Right,
this
but
live.
you don't
what
do
do you
it
guys
on your
want from
own
me?
because you
I
don't do it on your
I don't
do
have
it on your
live
own platform.
access with boxes. Yes, I posted a video today. I posted a story. Serena's rapid fired videos today.
Why
Like
do
I
you
haven't had the time to go and make all those videos to correct it.
But you
so
have the
what
I
time to
don't
be
understand what
here.
you want.
But
You have,
I don't want anything. I don't necessarily want anything, but you seem to be the person who is struggling the most. You seem to be the person that is really running around trying to correct every lie, every bit of misinformation, things that are being presented out of context. You're running around doing that. When what does it matter? What does it matter? What is the intention of you doing that?
if you
That's
have
what I
the
My
want.
question,
time,
and
if
my
you, I'm
question is,
sorry,
what the?
I'm sorry, if you have the time to sit in live streams for 40, 11 hours a day, you can go make videos.
Well, and my question
Go
is
ahead.
this: what do you get out of it? Like, because listen, people are going to talk whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you come in here and correct a narrative in 30 minutes or an hour or in 3 days. Somebody's just going to say the same shit again.
How
So
many people
there's
have talked
literally
shit about
no.
me that I've ignored?
Hold on,
How
Serena.
many people?
There's no point, Frank. Like it's senseless. It's you're just wasting your time. You know, like you're just wasting your
Frank, how
time.
many people have talked shit about me that I ignored for months? How many people? Lots of people.
Lots.
I'm not
Just
going to
ignore
comment
it.
on that.
What I don't understand is, and I'm going to go back to the beginning. She made a post. I found it amusing, and that post did not have anything to do with you. It was directed at Mr. O. In the course of the conversation, we started talking about engaging with a romantic relationship with a person that is either currently still married or with the person. For whatever reason, at this point, I don't even know what narrative you're correcting when I was just giving my personal take on how I feel about that off the app. I was only giving my experiences. So what are you correcting when that was the topic I was engaging in that had nothing to do with you specifically? What, at this point, what are you correcting that I was doing?
Or me, for that matter.
Yeah, that was a conversation that because Serena wasn't in a box. It was a conversation that me and Lena were having. So what were you trying to correct there?
All I was saying was that those receipts are taken, you know, he was just trying to be nice to Serena so that she wouldn't do
But
the
that's
things that she said that
first
she
of
was
all.
going to do.
Hang on. Let
Sorry,
Autumn
I
finish.
apologize.
Mr. O was being kind to Serena in those screenshots and on her side so that she would not threaten or do what she was threatening to do to me.
But that's your narrative. You're feeding us a narrative.
So,
Right?
baby.
so you want to correct what she said about Mr. O when the topic of discussion was engaging in a romantic relationship with somebody that is still currently married.
Well,
What
and
did
listen,
that have to do with the topic?
I love Mr. O, but Mr. O is a grown man. He's an adult. He can
Yeah,
handle it himself.
that's
Right,
what.
and it wasn't about. Hang on, Paris. It wasn't about Mr. O. We were having a discussion in general with people doing this,
No,
not just on TikTok.
no, Aldo, I understand what you're saying, but if Frank came in to like correct whatever Serena posted about Mr. O, again, I love Mr. O, mad respect for the guy, but he's a grown man who can defend himself and handle this shit himself also.
But
Right,
it's not
again, it had
true.
nothing to do with the topic.
But if it's not true,
Bye, Frank. That's how it goes. This is what she does.
It wasn't even the topic. I
let her talk. Then I talked, and she's like, I don't know what she just said.
I just think, and we cannot deny. We're not going to pretend like Serena is not protagonistic,
From
right?
my
And
take,
antagonistic. We're
it's
not going to.
all about
hang on. Let Sam.
drama.
Hang on. VW. Let Sam finish.
We're not going to pretend like Serena does not protagonize. She does it all, right? That's just Serena, right? We all know that. Frank was aware of that prior to their friendship really developing, right? So it's no shock that if Serena is being antagonistic in some way, passive aggressive videos. We all do passive aggressive videos. My God, if that's what she's doing, and
That's
you have her
legit.
blocked, if you have her blocked, ignore it. How many views did your video get, Serena?
I mean, like 12.
Okay, I see. It's hard. I almost feel bad for Frank that she's spending this much emotional energy on something that got 12 views.
I mean, but in fairness,
You can't.
Miss
No,
Sam,
you can't tell me why because you can't. You don't know.
I
You
can
absolutely.
because I know her, Sam.
in fairness, Miss Sam, when I was directly involved with Frank, going through all that diabetic daddy shit, this is what I have seen her do personally on repeat. So it doesn't make her a bad person. It just makes her,
And Sam,
unfortunately, someone who thrives on chaos.
my business. I was minding my business yesterday. I was talking about the weather with people.
No,
And-
what, I don't know where. I don't care, Serena.
Well,
You can get on an
that's
app and
just
talk
what
about
happened.
whatever. Yeah, but you can get on an app and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Like that. That's you're allowed to say whatever you want to say. You know, like
And-
that.
The narrative that God, what did they even say?
You need to blame AFF Go Bright.
Because he was trying to be nice to me to protect her. Yeah, honey bunch. My screenshots are going to prove that very false.
And if Frank,
Very
again,
false.
if you want to be upset
Autumn.
at somebody bringing up your name, Autumn, you need to go be mad at AFF Go Bright because he's the one that came in there and poked the bear and was saying things where she simply answered to the things coming out of his mouth in the basement. So go be mad at him.
That's a two-part thing, right? Because that's what Go Bright does. Right?
Yes,
He pokes. You can either choose to take the bait or not. That's
Right.
it. Like
Right.
you know, if Serena took the bait and upset Frank, you know, well then whoever's upset about it is the person who's like the dummy here, right? Who got upset.
I wanted to respond.
So okay, so that right. So it wasn't necessarily. That's what Go Bright does.
Yep.
I love the guy. I just found out he was a guy, but he's done this forever. He's just antagonized people forever. So,
You can thank him for your mental anguish over the last 24 hours because he did it to you. Because she
Again,
has worked hard.
Autumn, I've said this hang on, Lena. Autumn,
Yes,
I've
sir.
said this before. If you have an issue with your name being brought up, whether it's in a live, whether it's on a post, take it up with the creator that starts it.
Don't even
Don't
do
take it up
that.
with the person that responds.
It didn't even
Frank.
do that. I mean, just make I saw that you made a video this morning, and I liked it. I clicked like because yeah, if she's going to be in the, you know, if she's going to be making videos that are passive aggressive or threatening you or whatever, insinuating, or you feel like you're being extorted or blackmailed or something, then listen, my advice to people always is take the power away and push out whatever you think she's got against you, or push her to push it out and get it over with, because the anticipation of somebody dropping some information that could be detrimental, which I doubt that's even the case, the intimidation, you know, the anticipation of that's worse than it actually happening. But I just feel like right that what I'm hearing and seeing is a lot of everybody trying to kind of tone down with Serena because we don't want Serena to put out information that she has on us.
Maybe leave her alone. And to sit in the comments and say, but she chose to do whatever after that. You know, girl, you
She's
sound like an 8-year-old. Stop.
people
Frank, you're more than welcome to get in a box. I have been fair with you in
people
the
are
box.
going to do whatever they want to do in this app. You cannot control anybody. If Serena wants to just drag you from one end of TikTok to the other, she's going to do it. That's not a surprise with Serena, right? If you want to defend yourself, I just suggest making videos to respond to it. But chasing her into lives all the time, and hopping up to correct any misinformation, that's exhausting.
I was gonna say the block button's free and it works really well.
I'm the leader of blocking.
She
Did you
is.
know that?
She is. But it doesn't have to be inevitable, Frank. Why don't you quit taking the bait? Why don't you just go away? Stop following her around. Don't bounce into other people's lives trying to spin whatever your opinion is about why somebody did something. He's full grown. Just stop. And don't
And
come to me ever again and have the fucking audacity to tell me as a 57-year-old woman what I'm allowed to
hey,
laugh at
Jonas.
ever again. Any
Okay,
of
so
it.
the threat of CPS and notifying exes is strong bait, Mr. O. That is strong bait. You're right. And if Serena is threatening that,
Where is she threatening that?
So,
Y'all are
considering
children.
I've had, hang on a second. Considering I've had CPS called on me twice and had them show up my door, here's the thing. If you are doing what you're supposed to be doing as a parent, if your house is in order like it's supposed to be, you have nothing to worry about. So if somebody sits there and threatens it and then they show up, you can just sit there and laugh about it. And you want to come in, want to look through the fridge, cupboards. What do you want to do? I'm cool. Let's go.
It's really that simple.
You have nothing to worry about. But if you respond in a matter of like, you're freaked out about that, then other people, not me, but other people are going to be like, what are you worried about? Why are you worried about CBS? We've seen this on this side of TikTok. They will grab hold of these trolls like that and perpetuate that.
Well, good Lord, I had everybody on this platform for the last 8 days thinking I actually give a fuck what somebody said on their page and was legitimately fucking sending out cease and desist. Well, other girl didn't even get one. It was a troll. You people.
It's like when you sent Dodge Rogaine.
Exactly. I sent people shit. I'm a troll.
Same thing that goes with me. I've had my job called trying to get me fired for the last 2 months straight. I'm not doing anything wrong, so there's nothing they can do. All they're making themselves do is look stupid. Simple facts.
Frank, you need to stop. The minute something happens in your real life, you can sit down there in victim talk land and be like, don't do this, don't do. Nothing has happened, young lady.
Here,
Go to your life and
I'm
live
gonna do
it.
this now. I'm gonna
You
do
just
this.
can't stand not having all the attention, following people into lives, starting. I don't care.
I don't think that's true. I don't
But,
think she likes the attention at all, actually.
well, I think, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it's become like an unhealthy pattern she can't get out of. You might be right.
Why don't y'all just get in a ring and box? Fuck
Good
it.
Lord. Grow up.
No,
And
I just
Frank,
I would like to see. Personally would like to hope that everybody stays out of it between those two, and let them duke it out on their own pages and be done with it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Serena is going to stop saying what she wants to say in lives. There's been times that I wish I could have shut Serena up in lives, and she did. I knew I couldn't, and I just ignored it.
but the simple fact
So
is, Serena wasn't even, when Frank came into my life, Serena wasn't even in a box. And we were talking about things in general that we were not specifically talking about Frank and O. I had laughed at Serena's post, and that was it.
right, and that doesn't even matter. Right, that doesn't
No,
even matter.
it doesn't.
Like if
Sam will tell
Correct us.
everybody that I don't matter, that I'm irrelevant.
Right.
You should
Irrelevant.
listen to Sam. I am absolutely irrelevant. Do not pay
well,
attention.
well, most people are.
All of us are irrelevant. It's an app. We're not even real when we turn off our phone.
Okay, just for the record, whoever's in the comments saying that Frank sends people into lives, she doesn't do that. Everybody just mass sends out lives when stuff's heating up. So Frank is not sending
Like, I
people
have
into lives.
42 people in this live, and it's not because of my smiling face. I can tell you that.
Right?
It's because mine.
Oh,
Ha,
you do
just kidding.
love to fluff your ego, Sam. I know that.
I don't need to fluff my ego. Y'all do it for me.
I don't.
I
don't do
certainly
it.
do not.
Y'all keep making me feel relevant, and I'll just keep feeling relevant.
Well, I don't
Um,
do it.
You know what? And I hate to say this. There's a lot of times I hate to agree with a person that I have gone back and forth with. Howsoever, that is a true statement. And I've made the statement myself. My relevance is only dictated by your engagement.
Right.
The more you engage with me, the more you make me relevant.
Frank, if you are done with Serena threatening you, then I encourage you to either go live yourself. If you want boxes for some reason, I encourage you to have somebody on your side start a live where you can go in and correct the information. And then, but not do the back and forth in a live where people are like dogpiling on one person or the other.
See that number up there? That number is relevant to the people that love drama.
Yes. Exactly. It's
But
ridiculous.
coming from somebody who can scroll into any given live, I don't know, 10 times a week, and I am being discussed in some way or another, maybe I'm numb to it and don't care. But Frank, I encourage you to get more of that, because the more you start addressing the fact that somebody's mentioning your name or how a situation was handled when a friendship ends, you want to really pay attention to how friends treat each other when that friendship ends. Don't marry anybody you wouldn't want to divorce. Don't create a bond in a friendship with somebody you wouldn't want to end a friendship with. I'm going to let you think about that one for a second. Takes a minute.
Shit, I had to sit here and think about it for a second.
I don't have
Does
any
it make sense
arguments
yet?
for that.
Never marry somebody you would never want to divorce.
Go fight, your adult fight with someone else. That it doesn't even need to happen if you just drink a giant cup of shut the fuck up and go away, both of you.
And on
Go
that
do
note,
it from your
I
platform.
will reiterate my personal opinion off this app. Do not engage in a romantic relationship with somebody that is already engaged in such relationship with another person. Don't do that.
By state law,
You're
if you're legally
disrespecting
separated,
yourself.
by state law, if you're legally separated, you're allowed to have relationships with other people.
I understand the law, Sam. Believe me, I understand the law. What I'm saying is you're disrespecting yourself.
And that's his opinion.
No, I understand that. I just want you to. No, I
disrespecting
understand that. I want you to know that there are a lot of people who don't get divorced for a variety of reasons. One is in medical insurance for the children. That is, I don't know if that's Mr. O's reasoning, but a lot of men do that. A lot of responsible men do that. They don't divorce their wives, even though they're legally separated and they've moved on with their life, because it's better in insurance. They want to make sure that the mother, their children's mother, has health insurance. They maintain, they want to do stuff like that.
In a
right? God
situation where the
forbid.
cost is lower, I can understand that. Or in a situation where you don't have those benefits from the employment that you have, I can understand that.
Right.
I'm
A
just
lot
saying
of
that this
a
is
lot of
just my
men,
opinion.
a lot of very respectful men, like the real men who have separated from their wives, continue to stay married for a long, long time because of death benefits. Right?
My
They're the
best
mother of
friend
their
did that.
children. Right. That's the mother of their children, and they're going to make sure she's taken care of, and that the state's not going to get involved. If something were to happen to him, he wants to make sure his kids are taken care of, and they don't get divorced for that reason, because sometimes a lot of times, a lot of men on this app really do continue to respect the mother of their children because that woman birthed his children.
Yep.
I have an ex-wife, and I still carried the insurance after our divorce.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
that's not uncommon.
It's what you're saying is true, but you can still do that even after divorce. I
Yes, you
did.
can.
So
If you get right, but when it comes to like death benefits and your spouse who is an ex-spouse and something happens to you, then it's the easier chance for things to go into like state probate. And a lot of men who understand things like that, they want to avoid that with the mother of their children. They want the mother of their children to be able to have access to whatever they need.
and
And I can respect that.
I do have life insurance policy, and once we were divorced, I readjusted the payouts on that and put it in a trust.
Yeah, that's all part of a
Set up a trust
divorce.
for it.
You
So
can set your
it
will and
can be
stuff
done after
anyway.
divorce.
Yeah. I've unfortunately been divorced three or four times.
Only once.
I absolutely have had to learn to make better choices from that statement that you made earlier. That was the lesson I had to learn. It took me a minute to absorb what you said, and I was like, oof.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons why people separate, move on with their lives, and don't get divorced.
Like it just I think the
And
narrative.
I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just
Yeah.
that's just my personal opinion. That's how I feel. I would never engage with it just because that's me.
Yeah.
If other people feel it's okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that was the topic of what me and Lena were discussing. We weren't
Yeah.
Like we weren't
specifically
even
targeting
on 5
Autumn
minutes.
and Mr. O. We were not. Nowhere in that conversation were we targeting Autumn and Mr. O at all.
And we weren't even on 5 minutes. So they were actively watching. They couldn't have, there's no reason for them to watch us. So that she was actively watching what Serena was doing and where she was going because her feelings are hurt. Like you guys, I think very wise advice. Go do this from your own platform and your own lives and stop trying to drag other people into it. I don't care.
This account, these lives that I run from this account will always be for civil discourse. Always.
All right. Well, I'm going to drop out and let y'all continue to have civil discourse. Frank, I just don't want to see you spending any more emotional time on things that you can't control anyway. You can't control it. Serena's going to do what Serena wants to do. You can't stop her. You can't start her. She's going to do whatever she wants to do because she's a free thinker.
Great.
So, but I certainly wouldn't chase her around and try to.
Civil discourse. I appreciate you, Sam.
Yeah, this
Yeah, no
didn't
problem.
go like you thought it was going to go, did it, Frank?
Frank knows how I feel. This is not a secret. Frank knows how I feel. I don't dislike her. I don't dislike her. I think that some of the ways that she behaves can be not helpful for other people, right? But do I think she's a terrible, terrible person? No.
No.
No,
But
I don't think she is either.
I hate to see her. Yeah, I hate to see her spending time trying to defend herself against things that she claims are not true.
She's very young and
That's a
has
waste of time.
has had a life that makes it hard on a very young single mom. And I have respect for that. But please leave
been
me
through-
out of it.
Yeah, she's been through some stuff, right? Who hasn't? Everybody's been through some stuff.
Exactly.
But I just think that continuing to go in lives and try to battle it out for the truth when, that's like your side, my side, then there's the truth, that kind of thing. So If Serena believes what she's saying is true, leave it alone. If Frank says what she believes is true, then leave it alone. If not, just go to your platforms and clarify it.
Yeah. You got a voice. You got a voice, and it's your platform, and you feel free to do whatever you want from it. Over there, not over here.
But anyway, that's it. I hope y'all. I just did an onion boil, so I'm gonna make Vinny try an onion boil with me. He's super excited. But y'all have a good afternoon, okay?
You too.
All right, bye, guys.
So that's pretty much your cue that there's no further reason for any of you that are involved in all this drama to be here. Move along, carry on with your day. Bye.
Go enjoy life.
Go.
Go see the world.
Hi guys. Good morning.
Touch grass.
Afternoon.
Like, seriously.
Like, I would seriously want to see the numbers drop in the room because we don't care.
Spend it with the one you love.
Yes, spend it with the one you love.
Hello, beautiful. Hello, Aldo.
Just don't get so far involved in TikTok you end up in one of these places.
Exactly. Bye.
Ask AB.
Hi, babies.
Ask Montgomery Dobbs.
I mean, hell, go on a fishing trip.
Right.
Good morning.
That was
I just
beautiful, dude. I'm sorry, man.
I'll just go play at Disney.
You're fine, baby.
Or Universal.
I just wanted to say hello to all my friends, all of you. I love every one of you. I don't know what's going on. I literally just woke up. I got bad news yesterday, so I just wanted to say hi, and I love all my friends, and I'm not in anything. So I'm not here for drama. I'm just here because I love everyone, and I said hi.
Well, hi, honey.
Love you, Amanda Panda.
Hi, my baby. That's my brother right
Hello,
there.
Amanda. It's nice
Now
to meet
the
you.
rules go into effect if you are a faceless account. The rules on this account are
Unless
you do
we
not
know
stay.
you.
Thank you, Ash. Love
5
you.
bonus points
Serena.
to anybody that can tell me where this is.
Except for buttered biscuit. We're keeping the
Looks like
biscuits.
the Pacific Northwest somewhere. I wouldn't
You're
know
close.
exactly.
I don't know, dude.
That's
I don't
Lake
think.
Tahoe.
Yeah, I don't know if Aldo got his servers back up and running after he pulled them out of that lake, but we're
That
still.
was hard to clean those out.
It was
Lena.
hard.
You see Serena's comment?
Yes.
Okay. I just came in because I saw my friends and I was like, oh, I love you. I saw my brother down there, West Virginia. That's my brother. That man stood next to me when people were trying to come for me because I stay neutral. And he was like, leave her alone. She stays neutral.
I mean, I'm patriotic as fuck. Anybody know what this
Mr.
is?
O, Mr. O, why are you still here?
I mean, Gettysburg.
Danny, you're a face. Are we keeping Danny's 78's faceless account in here, Aldo?
I'm going to drop. I just wanted to say hi to my lovely friends.
Lincoln Memorial. Hey, look, Ford's Theater. Anybody recognize this hotel?
You know, my dad got to do
That's
the
cool.
honor flight.
That's
And go
the hotel from The
DC.
Shining.
You know where I want to go? I want to go to the Grand Hotel where they made the movie somewhere in time with Christopher Reeve. It's so gorgeous. It's this little island, and I want to go so bad.
Like, go do something. I do every summer. Every summer I travel somewhere in the United States. I've been from sea to shining sea. I've had my hand within 6 inches of the United States Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. I have a life off this app.
That was crazy. It's weird
Yeah,
behavior.
so do
All
I.
of you are fucking weirdos.
Well, now I can't get it to shut off. By the way, I will say that when you get this close to the inner fence of the White House, they don't like that. They make you go away.
They don't like it.
Sir, you can't be here. This is a restricted area. I went, oh, my bad. I literally said that. I was like, I told the Secret Service agent, I said, well, I seen this group of people over here, and I thought that was okay. No, it's not. Okay, my bad.
Get your ass away.
I knew that. I just took advantage when there was a gap, and I knew nobody was paying attention to me, and my wife was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. I was like, fuck, I don't care.
Nancy, Nancy, if you're going to camp, you need to like and participate. He doesn't like campers on this account.
Yeah, no, don't.
Don't
At
sit
least
in here and camp. I've seen
At least engage. Fuck, I can't shrink myself now.
You know Brian, right? I get lost on this account because you have so many people that follow you for your art. But he's in here a lot, so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Hey, Cotton.
It's the motherfucking Cotton.
Hi, Cotton.
Now look, now that the drama's gone, look at the number.
Isn't that amazing?
Look at the number.
Ridiculous. God, you guys are fucking weird. Morning, Rob.
I wanted to ask Aldo, when you went to DC, did you go to that building where the acoustics are crazy and you can whisper on one side and hear on the other?
Yes.
Dude.
That was weird.
Dude,
It kind of freaked me out a bit.
I went there on a field trip and we split up in two groups, and somebody was over there talking. I shit you not, it sounded like they was right in my freaking ear. It was the craziest thing.
Oh gosh.
So
But
when
I come up here to also say another thing. A lot of the places you went up there and all that marble it's made out of, it's from where I'm from, like 10 minutes from my house. All
really?
that marble. Yeah, Sylacauga, Alabama is called the Marble City.
I mean, it was a very emotional experience for me to put my hand, even though they say don't touch the glass, I did. It's a very emotional experience to put your hand within 6 inches of that document, of those documents. Like, you don't really fully understand what it means to be American until you have your hand that close to those documents.
I can agree. As a veteran, it means something to walk down through Arlington and walk through those buildings
Right.
and see what you fought for. You know, like it's crazy.
Like, the thing that was disheartening to me and my wife is all the places we went, 90% of the people that we interacted with were foreigners. 90% were foreigners. And that was disheartening to me. I would have expected to see a lot more Americans in Washington, D.C. And I didn't. And that was on the 4th of July when we went.
It's like we take it for granted that it's there.
Holiday.
Yeah, we went 4th of July. So that was the year we had the 420 protest. Across the gates from the White House in that little like park area.
Right.
It was a whole bunch of us. I went that year because I was stationed at Newport News at Fort Eustis, and we chiefed down in front of the police in front of the White House, and I thought I was like King Dingaling, bro. That was tops for me.
So, I mean, you don't know how it feels. Here, let me give you an example. When you're going to the places that our history is absolutely embedded in, just to look down the sight of one of these at Gettysburg, to know that that's what those men were seeing.
Have you been to Colonial Williamsburg?
I have.
Yeah, so Newport News is like 30 minutes away. That is pretty cool because that's what a Revolutionary War, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been inside this building.
The Chickamauga battlefields in Georgia, northern
Which startled
Georgia,
the
is
shit
cool
out
to
of me
get to.
because I didn't know that clock tower and that bell still works. So when we were sitting in the pavilion and just taking a break, and that fucking bell went off, and it startled the shit out of me. I had no idea it still chimed on the hour. That's Independence Hall.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know the original bell they took down, but that's still pretty
Yes,
cool.
they did.
Yeah, the original bell had a massive crack in it they could not repair, and they didn't want it to break anymore, so they took
The
it down.
line for that, Rob. Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
We had
it's
to come
days
back.
long.
So we
Aldo,
got
real
there.
quick, somebody's requesting up.
Allow them up if just keep your finger over the disconnect button.
I mean, you don't know them apparently. I don't know.
It's Carrie
I was making
that was asking up.
I was making a joke. I said you don't know them.
So we had to come back the next day because the line for the bell was almost a block and a half long.
Yeah, it's long.
Dude, you'll stand in line for hours on that. So when we went to Ford's Theater,
Oh wow.
we were directly across from Lincoln's booth.
Oh, how cool.
How gorgeous. What a neat place.
For
It
real.
was just amazing. And there's a lot of stuff that is taught in schools that is just, even when you see it on a TV show, it's not even a scratch on the surface of our history.
Did you get to go up there?
Spent days there.
Did you get to go up to the actual booth?
No, they did not take tours up to the booth.
Oh man, that's. I would love to see it from that
As
angle.
we could get to it. Now, if you know anything about specifically this area, what is in this area? On the other side of the reflection pool, that is the World War II monument.
Yeah.
That is, I can't even describe that. You have to go there.
We watched the
There's
fireworks.
things there that I didn't even know.
Yeah, we watched the fireworks there one year on 4th of July in that grassy
Yeah,
field
they
on
have
the other side.
They have the fireworks set up here and here.
Yep.
And me and my wife were on the hill just underneath the Washington Monument.
There's no, we probably crossed paths a time or two.
Well, I tell you what, my wife got mad. So we were over there on the path where the nation's Christmas tree is.
Yeah.
We were on that path, and there was a group of young men in front of us. And one of them says, and I quote, "Where are we going next?" And the other one responds, and they were probably in their early 20s. The other one responds and points, and he goes, "We're going to that pointy thing over there." I swear to God, I thought my wife was going to go choke that kid. She was like, "Did he just call it a pointy thing? Did I just fucking hear that?" Like, no, we're not doing that here.
My dad, being a Vietnam veteran, he got to do the honor flight where they took him to the DC, and he absolutely loved it. He hated being pushed around in the wheelchair because that's not my dad, but in order for him to go, he had to be pushed around in the wheelchair, but he said it was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen.
That's one of the monuments at Gettysburg.
That's
wow.
That's something to see in person if you ever get the opportunity.
Wow.
Like, and
Oh, it's a kitty.
And Bug learned a lot that she didn't know that's not taught in school, like the women of Gettysburg, the nurses, the things that they did, all the monuments around there about them. She learned a lot. She had no idea. She said to us, she goes, "Wait, there was girls here? Yes, there was women here."
If she loves that kind of stuff, If you ever get a chance to go to New York, you definitely have to do Ellis Island. My daughter spent 6 hours in there just learning. She's like, Mom, this is the coolest place I've ever been. Thanks for bringing me.
I've been
We learned a
listening
lot
to
in that place.
like Tucker and goodness, all kinds of podcasts while I'm at work, because it'll drive me crazy if I'm not listening to something. And I mean, I like music and all, but I like to be informed, and I'm just kind of a nerd. So I'll listen to books or documentaries or Dateline or whatever. But I've been listening to a bunch of stuff like pertaining to our history and just how our history has been written by the victors, more or less. And I'm just learning. I mean, I always knew that they don't teach us everything, or they don't teach it to us accurately, or they leave some things out or add some things or whatever.
Right.
But just listening and finding out how diabolical and the extent of involvement like our government has like against it's just terrible. Like, golly.
Against the whole
Horrifying.
truth being told is what you're saying. Like the whole truth
Yeah.
has never been told to us.
Yes.
I agree with
Right.
you. I went down the same rabbit hole, and what I learned was, and if you haven't done this yet, I'm giving you some advice because me and you think the same apparently. Look into the way Russia teaches history from World War II on. That's the most accurate description of like our history without anything being omitted.
See,
Right.
I listened to a whole 2-hour interview with Putin, and like, I mean, he has been like, I'm surprised he didn't do this sooner, because like they have crossed boundaries that we have once upon a time agreed not to. Like, it's like we've poked the bear. We are at war with Russia. Ukraine hasn't been at war with Russia. We are, and that's just we're using.
It's a proxy war, is what
Yeah.
it's called.
Yeah.
From the very first interaction, how many years ago, Aldo?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like it was the late 90s or early
I was gonna
2000s?
say,
So
Yeah,
my
like-
father was 40 years United States Navy. He was
Golly.
damn, bless
Sorry,
you.
I thought I was on mute.
He was a nuclear engineer for the United States Navy for their
That
subfleet.
hurt.
Their entire subfleet, even the boomers. There are things that man has discussed with me that I will never talk about till the day I die. I won't. That
Yeah.
as far as us with the Russians, that has been a dance, a very methodical and tactical dance, especially underwater with the subfleet for many years.
Many years, like, but it started to really start escalating in 2008, and I can't remember what the event of it was that kind of ticked Putin off in 2008, and like he gave a warning, like, knock it off.
Was that not Obama and oh god, I know what you're talking about. It had something to do with Obama and Hillary Clinton, and I
I
can't.
think they were adding somebody to NATO that was not supposed to be in NATO.
It was
Right.
that, and they was interfering with some sort of supply pipeline that they
Yeah.
were getting from another country or something. I could be wrong.
I think-
It was the oh shit, what's the name of that pipeline?
How about the Keystone?
Keystone. Or no, not Keystone.
Not the Keystone. I forget what it is. It's the other.
It was the one that goes up through Alaska, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
That's what it
we're
was.
We're not talking
because-
about the gas. We're not talking about the gas pipeline that the United States Navy SEALs blew up.
No, we're talking about that time Sarah Palin was like, "I can see Russia."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is funny though, right? Which is funny though because they gave her so much. They gave her so much.
Yes,
shit for
Ona,
that
that's it.
and made
Yes.
and made so much fun of her on Saturday Night Live, right? Negating the fact that that just made you look fucking like morons if you know how things are, because there is parts of Alaska that if you live in, you can fucking see Russia.
Yeah.
No, it was
Like,
just the
it's
way she said
literally
it.
off of the coast of fucking Alaska. There's parts of Alaska where you can stand on the shoreline and look across the fucking ocean and you can see the mainland of Russia. Just like there's parts where I'm at and up here in New York and other parts of the country where you can stand and you can look across the fucking river and see Canada. So, I mean, that whole part in itself to me is just crazy, the idiocracy of some of these people.
I
Okay.
did. Do you? Does
Okay.
anybody?
So you guys,
there's,
for
I don't
the
know.
for the Russia interaction, the very, and it's not the first, but it was the first that made it to the news, made it to the TV, and all that crap. In 1988, the United States illegally and secretly deployed, we're going to call them special forces. It was a mix of everybody. So you could say Delta Force, you could say the SEALs, but it was every branch of the military was assigned to special operation, right? And in 1988, we, the United States, pushed Russia out of Afghanistan. They literally, I don't want to say evacuated, but they packed up and they went home. They took the helicopters home. They took the tanks home. They left. And they made a big, big, big deal out of it. And the reason they did it, and the only reason they did it, was because George Bush Sr., Daddy,
HW.
ran out an F-16 onto the tarmac loaded with 2 nuclear weapons. How do I know this? I was the young boy under the jet handling chocks and parking, because from a distance, I was ordered to cut my hair a certain way, wear my uniform a certain way, blah, blah, blah. Everybody could roll up their t-shirt sleeves except for me. Why? Because women's arms look different. So I had to keep the t-shirt unrolled to cover the fact that I didn't have the same biceps as the rest of the men on the tarmac. So from a distance, it looked like 2 men were handling it. Now, here's the secret. The first time we rolled out the F-16, they were what I call blue tag, meaning they're just duds, right? There's nothing's going to happen. The second time we rolled it out, we had to wear what we call mop gear, like chemical warfare mop gear, because they were live, nuclear weapons live.
What
And
mop
it was
level?
all over. I know it was ABC and CBS and NBC were all brought out with special press credentials. And they were a good, I don't know, I would say 5. It was a ways. They were a way off. So the cameras could zoom in and stuff, but they were a ways off. And by putting out that F-16 and saying, I'm going to do it, get the hell out of Afghanistan, or I'm going to do it. And that's when they turned around and they started packing up and they left. And that was the closest we came in a lot of years until we got to Ukraine, that the U.S. actually came almost to blows with Russia. That was the last time. We've had a few other close calls, but nothing as big as rolling out an F-16 with nuclear weapons on it saying, get the hell out of the country or we're going to drop them.
And here's the thing on that. Nuclear warfare is absolutely on the table, but what a lot of people don't realize, it's not going to be fought with intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Nope.
It's going to be tactical nukes.
I have to take a phone call. Aldo, I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
I just want to say that Iran also does not want nuclear shit. That's propaganda.
Oh no! What mop level were you wearing during this event?
4.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah.
Mop 4.
Rob's
It
like,
took
oh
you
shit.
30 minutes to put that shit on.
Wow.
Oh
Look,
God. Well, yeah. I mean, and I was. What had happened was we had the uniform on, so we had the outer layer on. We were just missing the boots, the gloves, and the mask and helmet when we were back at the tent. But when they called us out, as we got when we got into the truck to drive us out there, we had to put everything else on. Well, actually, what happened was they told me to put my mask on before I got in the car into the maintenance truck because nobody wanted anyone to know that a woman was going out there. So that was classified secret information that they were using to scare Russia, saying not only are we going to drop a nuclear weapon, but we've got a woman out there doing the launch. So anybody who gets hit with this that has a problem with, the whole woman thing, you're not going to get your virgins. You're not going to see the pearly gates. You're going to go the other way because a woman launched the weapon. But
And
that was not broadcast to the United States. That was broadcast overseas to Russia. It was,
right.
Wow.
So, and there's also several different options when you're dealing with tactical nukes. Now, me not being in the service, I'm going off of what my father taught me. So here's what they look at. As far as your naval forces, and Rob can correct me on this as his knowledge base is. As far as naval forces, one upper atmosphere detonation, if your shit is not shielded, which most of our United States Navy, most of it, not all of it, is shielded from EMP. But an absolute upper atmosphere detonation of a nuclear device will send out a significant EMP pulse that just wipes out all electronics. They've
Right.
known this for years from testing.
Yes.
no, yeah, Langley and Eustis and Joint Base Langley Eustis, we did testing. Not testing. Let me rephrase that. They did testing and we participated in what would happen in certain events, and one of those was an EMP attack, and that's why. For instance, I was a mechanic, a 91 Bravo. I think it was 63 Bravo. They reclassed it, a wheeled vehicle mechanic. And I had to have we had this talk one time about weapons and shit. And I had to work on shit. I had to have classified clearance. But anyway, the main thing is a lot of our equipment and vehicles, they're all mechanical. There's no electronics whatsoever. It's a diesel engine that's all mechanical. Everything runs on a 24-volt system. It's all set up to counteract. If we get attacked in that manner, we can still operate.
And that's why
Right.
the F-16 was rebuilt and repurposed because the entire thing ran on electronics. So an EMP would make that's why we used to call them lawn darts, because if an EMP hit, because this was at the dawn of the EMP possibilities, they were still testing it. Like Rob said, they were still in the laboratories, they were still in Langley, they were still doing all the research and testing. But we used to call the F-16 a lawn dart because if an EMP hit or, it would crash, God forbid, it went nose down. So when it would hit like a lawn dart. And it looked like a lawn dart from a distance. If you looked at it, I mean, it does look like a lawn dart.
But what
But
a versatile platform. And before the F-16, and this was something that the United States perfected on. And if you don't believe me, look it up. We have the capability of taking out satellites, and they used to use the I believe it was the F-25 Strike Eagle, to take out satellites because it would climb that high. Then the F-16 came, and it was a better platform to perfect
hold
that.
on. The Strike Eagle is an F-15.
Or F-15, excuse me.
Okay.
I said F-25. F-15. That's what they used initially to take out satellites. Now, why would we want to take out satellites? It wasn't the fact that we wanted to take out satellites. It was we needed to test that capability in case another country launched a nuke. Because if we could successfully take out a satellite that moves 5 times faster than a intercontinental or even a tactical, then we know we have the technology to take out those. So
Well,
once we perfected that technology of being able to take out satellites, it was a perfect defensive platform.
you
And
want
then they
to
switched to the F-16, which was, they switched to the F-16, which is way better to do that.
do we
Not
want
to
to talk about the
brag, not
appreciation of technology? Just look at the bomber. It
look,
hasn't
not
changed.
to not to brag or anything, but those satellites that are up there, one of my jobs out when I got out of the military, I went to work for a company that has been bought many times over, but it was called Hughes, as in the Hughes fortune and all, that guy, Howard
Right.
Hughes.
Yeah.
Hughes Space and Com, right?
Mhm.
And they were, so we had people building the satellites, but our job, the engineers that I worked with, had to write the formulas and the code to add to the satellite so they could control it for exactly what we're saying, so that you could strategically use the satellites. And I'm sitting here going, okay, this is literally rocket science. It's literally rocket science. And they call me in because one of the satellite formulas keeps erroring out, right? So I'm like, what the hell do you want me to do? So I go in there and it turns out they were having a problem with it. And by the way, this was run on Excel spreadsheets, by the way. Just want you to know that. So they call
So
me in and they go, here's the formula, right? And it's this, the formula, when you opened up the box to look at it, took up the entire computer screen. And he goes, there's an error somewhere in this formula. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's algebra. Okay, I got it. But he wants me to find the error. He wants me to find the error. So I'm like, okay, I can only go by grammar. When I'm saying by syntax, they call it syntax, but I'll use grammar for you guys.
No,
He wants
I
me
know what
to
you're talking about.
correct the freaking grammar of his formula, and I'm like, dude, this is rocket science. Okay, I am not a scientist, and nor do I know anything about rockets. Anyway, it took me 2 days because this thing was huge. I had to keep going through and prove I do it in segments, and I found it. It was a fucking comma. I'm
so I
like,
have a buddy, right? I have a buddy. When he was in, he did like weapon specialist stuff, right?
I
But
was married to a weapons.
he was like high level, like top secret clearance,
Yep.
because he, was on that spectrum. When he took his ASVAP and he fucking like aced that shit. So he went into intelligence,
Yeah.
but did like some weapon specialist stuff because that's what he wanted to be. So they set him up to have the highest level of clearance that he could. And he told me that we actually have satellites. We actually have satellites that can put off EMP pulses from space and destroy the entire grid on the whole world. Just black out everything. And he said when they were doing it, he said they referred to those. He said they called it the dark block because they could literally put that program in and push that button, and it would set off that pulse throughout space, that satellite, and it would kill everything, every form of electricity, every form of grid that we use on in the entire world. And he said that these, like, bro, this technology exists. Whether they want to tell you that it does,
Oh,
it does.
yeah, I was about to say I was listening to an interview with the guy that took out bin Laden. And like they at last minute or something, I don't remember the whole story again, but there was like a helicopter that apparently the president didn't even know about. Like y'all can go back. I can't remember if it was on Sean Ryan or I don't remember, but it's the guy who he took the
That's Sean Ryan. You're right.
yeah, okay. But it was talking about a helicopter that he was just like, none of us, it's not been released to like but it was just like a wild technology that so that there's all kinds of stuff that they've got that we just don't know about.
Well, I can speak on one thing, and I got to dip out of here after that. But the reason I had to have a higher security clearance, because I was a mechanic. They brought us into a special section. They handpicked like 6 of us out of our classes. And they said, we're going to train you to do something, and you're going to have clearance for it. Now, the vehicle I messed with was outdated, but it was, I can't remember the exact name of what they called it, but it was a 6x6, like a tank, but with tires on it. I can't remember the name of them things. But it had essentially what you see in the movie Transformers. You know, when they take that thing off the side of that pyramid, it essentially had one of those on it. And I'm telling you right now, you call me crazy, that the railgun is legitimately real.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have seen it with my own eyes.
They started experimenting with that, I believe, in the 80s.
Yes, they did.
Well, I know for a fact, and I had to have security clearance to work on it, just to do maintenance on it and do oil changes. But because of the weaponry and how sophisticated that technology is, they were like, hey, listen, you can't, it's been long enough now, I guess I can talk about it. But for a long time, I was scared to death if anybody ever found out.
It's 25 years.
That shit made me nervous.
Yeah, your expectation of declassification is 25 years unless they extend it. Because I had the same thing. My job on paper was 431, which is tactical aircraft maintenance. But I didn't do any maintenance. I was doing all intelligence stuff, like all the movements, all the statistics, where they were going, when they were going, how long they were going, where the gas was going to be on the way out, where the gas was going to be on the way in. I mean, I knew everything about the mission and why, not just knowing about what they were doing, but why they were doing it.
See, that's the difference with me, is I was just a mechanic. Their hand was forced because they needed people that knew what they were doing and could guarantee their work in sticky situations.
Right.
So I had, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know nothing about other than me seeing it and getting an understanding of what it was. I didn't know nothing technical about it, and I was scared to death of it because I'm like, fuck, if they're willing to show me this, they're willing to take me out if I expose it.
And they don't want you to know that shit, bro. Like
you
said, like shit like the railgun is a very real thing. Shit like the Death Star, the quote unquote Star Wars Death Star, that shit is a real fucking thing.
It exists.
It is a satellite that has the capability of shooting a laser beam through space that will destroy any fucking thing it touches. I mean, come on, man. Look at what happened in Hawaii. Let's not be stupid. That was the fucking Death Star.
And now I'm finna really hit you with something. And then I really am finna go, because I just like being. This is your comedic relief. We can do all that, but we didn't go to the moon in 1969, and Richard Nixon did not have a landline phone call with that joker. I'm telling you right now, because they didn't even have AC in cars back then, half of them.
If you look into it now, I'm on the fence, and I'm still on the fence about that. I've seen both sides of the argument, but the one thing that rings in my head still to this day, if you go digging for it, you will find an article. And when NASA was asked why we haven't been back to the moon, and I quote, because we lost the math. We don't have the math anymore to do it. That was a direct quote from NASA engineers.
We lost the technology. Yeah, that's what they said.
How? Why?
Crazy.
Nobody has asked why. How do you lose those equations?
I see. You thought that. I went, how is Richard Nixon on live television having a landline phone conversation with someone on the moon? That was my only thought, was this is not real. It's not real.
Do you know why it's so important? And I want to tell you this. Does anybody know why it's so important for, if it wasn't real, why President Trump wants to put people on the moon and people on Mars? You want to know why?
Well, it's not to make sure Russia is drained of all of their economy.
No.
I know that.
Look up maritime law and treaties. that all countries operate underneath as a core. Look at those treaties and look into them, because every single country of NATO has agreed hundreds of years ago, or not hundreds of years ago, excuse me, after NATO was created. All of them agreed to one treaty. One, as far as Antarctica goes, that's off limits. Nobody owns that. Howsoever, if you go digging for it, you will find a treaty that all members of NATO signed to. The first person to put feet on any one of those planets owns them.
Oh,
And all the
Oh,
mineral rights
okay.
to those planets.
Okay, that makes sense.
that
I
does.
didn't realize that.
In perpetuity is what the treaties
Right.
read.
Right,
That
because
means
if you've got
forever.
the money and the science to get there and what is it
own
called?
it.
Colonize it
Yeah.
or populate it, then yeah, because that's going to take a big, huge chunk out of the country's GDP, which is a big deal.
Not
It's
me
a
going to my
gamble.
backyard to build a spaceship to go claim Rob's Island. I'll be back.
Do you think for one moment NASA put a robot on fucking Mars just to look at shiny rocks? They're looking for precious metals. They're looking for minerals that can be mined in the future.
Exactly.
I mean, you look at-
Everything about space exploration is to gather resources that will further our population and civilization. And I'm speaking specifically about the United States.
I mean, you look at
Everything,
history, though, right? So look at history. It's not only just about us. You look at history, though. You look at the things, like Rob and Aldo said, like they said that they lost the math. How do you lose the math on that, right? Because you lose the math because the current society doesn't want you to know the truth. So they didn't lose it, they just hide these things. They
Right.
still have it. It's the same thing with what we did to ancient Egypt. We know they went to space. We know that they had the technology to travel interstellar. We know that they had the technology back then to make electricity and had power plants. We know this.
Yeah.
But now archaeologists and scientists are starting to say this because they know that people are starting to find things and see things that has evidence of that. But the greatest way to censor people is to hide the truth from them.
Even
so
our
people
own
don't see what it is.
evolution, as scientists put it out, even our own evolution has hundreds of thousands of years of a gap.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all
Hundreds
know,
of thousands of years.
y'all know the moon is hollow, right?
So is the Earth.
So when we went
yeah.
to the moon, we left seismic sensors on the moon before we took off. And when we took off, they jettisoned the lower end of the rocket and it landed back on the moon. And when it did that, they said that the moon rang like a gong.
Have
It
we
was completely unexpected.
have we put robots and equipment on the moon? Yes, absolutely we have. An actual man, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that. But with the treaties, the way they're written, simply putting a robot on it does not make it yours. You have to put feet on that planet.
You know, that
Don't
makes a
forget
lot
the
of
cat they shot into space and that survived, and then they euthanized it when it got home to dissect its brain. Oh, that makes me so mad.
You know, all the people that say that the moon landing was fake and it was all a stage production, that makes a lot of sense as to why they're, I mean, I don't believe that. I believe that a man did step there, but that would make a lot of sense why people think it's a hoax, because by televising it, by filming it, and then broadcasting that across all of America, Canada,
Right.
South America, it shows everybody, okay, we stepped there first. right?
So
So
on that note,
I'm not saying that the hoax is true. I'm saying now that makes more sense as to why people believe that.
right. So this is my belief. This is my personal belief. Reading a lot of different books, researching things, looking at documents that on occasion I probably shouldn't have been able to see, but I did. All the research I've done on it comes to this. I think the whole putting forth the United States has never put a man on the moon was a propaganda warfare that was initiated by Russia.
That makes sense.
Because they don't want that claim. They don't want the United States to have claim on a celestial object that could potentially have not only minerals that we do know of, but potentially minerals that we have not yet been able to discover. Like our periodic table keeps expanding and expanding. Over the last 50 years, there's a lot of things that have been added to our periodic table.
I mean, look
What
at
if
look
they
at look
find
at
a chemical or a mineral compound that gives the United States an edge over everybody else?
I mean, look at element
What's the
zero.
best way to kill that treaty?
Have a moon? Have you ever looked into why we even have a moon? There is no scientific explanation as to why we even have a moon. We should not have it. There's
I've read
nothing that holds
articles
water.
where they believe where some scientists believe that the moon was captured by the Earth and our solar system. It came from out somewhere else.
Yeah, so it had to have been made is the only thing that makes sense. And not to mention the circumference of the moon and the exact position of it is what gives us our solar eclipse. You know, if it was a mile less, we wouldn't have a solar eclipse.
So there's documentation on this, and people can look it up. One, the moon does not have the same composition as the Earth. Two, the moon does not have the same composition as any of the other moons of any other planets in our solar system. It is literally standalone in its composition. No other moon has the same composition.
Motion. It's motion.
It is alien. It is foreign. It is a foreign composition.
Yes, we should not have it.
Right, to any other planetary body in our solar system.
Weird.
They know this.
Didn't Buzz Aldrin like say it didn't happen? Like, am I tripping or did
You're tripping. He never said that.
He never said that. That if you look at the whole interview, and
the one I was talking about was with a little girl.
Right. So if you look at that whole interview from start to finish, you'll get more context of it. Also, you got to understand that Buzz Aldrin is in his 90s now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
well, that's also another thing that I thought. Like, he's in his eye. So are his give a fucks just gone and it just came out because he is in his 90s, or is his mind like going crazy and that just came out? Like,
he also said the moon has like pyramids like structures and like obelisks on it.
Neil Armstrong has never denied that they stepped foot on the moon. Never.
It was never put to paper.
Okay.
It was discussed, but it was never put to paper because you have to readjust the treaties that were already in place.
Mm-hmm.
Because those treaties are in perpetuity, meaning forever.
But when they said that there are structures on the moon, like buildings on the moon, that should not be there.
But when they asked Neil Armstrong specific things about that trip, he did say he never denied stepping foot on there, but he never really said that he did. But later on, they asked him about stuff. They asked him about the structures, like Papa was about to say. They asked him about the structures, and he said there is things that I have seen that I know that even if I told you the truth, you would not believe me.
I think
and that was from the dark side of the moon that things were saw.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I state clearly that if you think we put a robot on the fucking face of Mars just to look at shiny rocks for scientific value, it is not for scientific value. It is for monetary value, and it is for militaristic technology value.
Yeah.
100%, or they wouldn't have done it.
No,
Right.
Look at
if there's no money in it, they're not going to do it. They
Right.
need they need the money.
Also,
and you look at our
remember,
periodic table.
NASA
Look at
is
element
a
0.
private entity. NASA is not a governmental entity. It is a private entity. Look it up. NASA absolutely is a private entity.
Why do you think SpaceX is talking about going to the moon? There's money.
NASA had a monopoly. NASA had a monopoly, and nobody ever challenged in the United States its monopoly. But through our history, there's even a movie about it. There's other U.S. citizens that have tried to affect the same thing that NASA did. Well, you can't do that because that's against regulations. That's against federal law. Why do you think NASA petitioned the Senate to have these laws in place? They wanted the monopoly over it because they're a private entity. They don't want other people in they sure as hell didn't want Elon Musk, but when Elon Musk challenged the monopoly of it, he won. That's why he's allowed to throw his rockets in space, because our government went, fuck, he's got us in a box, we can't, fuck.
Yeah.
And he waited, and Elon waited till the right administration to do it. Let's be clear on that.
Well, okay. Remember, there were a lot of people in our government, and I'm talking DC level federal, that are very much opposed to providing money to NASA for space exploration. And so between the right and near the end of the Clinton administration through Obama, all the way up until Elon showed up, they blocked anybody. I mean, I'll be honest, Hughes Space and Com basically went under. They were purchased by a government, one of the government-owned companies that do the satellites, or government invested or government controlled, because it was a private company. When I worked for Hughes, they were a private company providing not only the manufacture of the satellites, but also the positioning of them and the control of them. And one of the reasons
S1 satellites.
Huh?
Are you talking about the G1 and S1 satellite systems?
Oh, I don't know. This would be 1997 to 2000.
Okay, that's after the G and S1 series of satellite. Okay.
At the whole reason that my contract ended with them was because the government basically shut them down. And I lost that position because, they were being shut down.
And if you think we have a space station orbiting this Earth for anything other than technology advancements, there's a bridge I want to sell you in Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
That space station is not for the benefit of the people of the world. Right. It is not. It's been up there for years, and every once in a while we get a showboat of, hey, we have this astronaut, and we're going to talk about what we do here, kids, in grade schools in the United States and other countries, and that's not why you put that fucking space station up there. It wasn't to talk to kids in grade schools about your plants and shit.
Been extraterrestrial contact.
What's the cleanest environment to perfect a biological weapon? Ona?
Put it in your pocket.
It's not that one.
In space.
The absolute cleanest environment to perfect biological weapons.
An IT server room?
Oh,
no, it's in space in the vacuum.
Yeah, no,
It
I'm
would
sorry.
be
I'm being glib. But
right.
when you
So
said a clean environment and a clean room, all I went to was
right,
the data servers.
absolute zero gravity, absolute vacuum.
Oh my goodness, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That also gives you a very clean environment to perfect biomechanical weapons and
Right.
biomechanical technology.
Right.
Huh? So think about that for a minute and then look into it. Look into what the space station does. You will find very, very, very limited articles. It will be about education. There's nothing about technology, which I'm sorry, throws up a red flag in my mind,
And
considering
if
it's
you
the
have an
cleanest
you can
environment to
just
perfect
blast
these
that pod
technologies.
off and be done.
Like, they will never allow that space station. There was what was it, about 5 years ago? There was an article that people were talking about that the space station was in a digressional orbit, that it was eventually going to crash back to Earth.
Oh yeah, they'd never allow that to happen.
That is never going to happen. They will never allow that at all.
I don't have it.
Actually, it didn't give legs.
There are just
But
too many reasons they wouldn't let that happen.
I do I have a very long honey-do list to do today, so I do have to close down the live.
Okay.
Saturdays
I'm glad
are
I
our
got to
cleaning
see ya.
days. That's when we
As
go through the whole
always, a fascinating and enjoyable conversation.
as always.
Yep, definitely.
And I just want to say this. I feel sorry for the one person that actually does piss off Ona. The sheer amount of resource. Look,
I can see that.
when I started looking into Ona as she was broadcast as this ultimate boogeyman, I got so far and pulled the plug. I went, ain't fucking with that. The sheer amount of resources that this young lady has at her disposal at any given time, drinking her morning coffee.
But that's why I don't do
God bless
anything.
you. God bless you. Whoever pushes that button with that woman.
But that's why I don't ever do anything, because I can't be secret about it.
It's
Because there are
Ona.
entities that know, they watch because they know what I'm capable of
Ona,
anywhere. And so
I respect that you operate under it is absolutely beneath your intellect and certainly a waste of your time to take Johnny Boy, the meth head, and throw him in a black site.
right.
I will tell you, like,
He's already in a black site. He's doing meth.
of clearance, once you reach a certain level of clearance, whether you're in the military or not, you are still being watched.
Yes. Yes, you are always monitored. When you have a certain security clearance, when you've done certain things, when you've been places, like, okay, for example, my standard reply is I was never deployed outside the US. And I can tell you that when I say that, there's a little piece of me in the back of my mind that says you are a liar. Because I don't know if I've left the United States. I spent a lot of time in a desert, though, and I was stationed in South Carolina, but I spent a good chunk of my enlistment in a desert. Was it in the United States? The standard answer is yes. It was out in the Arizona, New Mexico desert. That's where we were. Area 51, all of that stuff. Yeah, the Vegas, yeah, all of that. But was I really in that area? I don't know, and I'll never know, because most of my orders when we would deploy, I didn't get paper. They would come to me and say, you're doing this, 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 and this. Get on that plane with this equipment. This is your job. Was I in the US? I don't know.
By the way, for all you conspiracy theorists that might be licking the windows and everybody in this live, Area 51 does not have any aliens. Stop looking. It's mostly empty. And if you're actually looking for anything like that, go to the mountains of Utah.
Listen, the only thing you're going to come back with from Area 51 is nuclear poisoning.
Yeah, that's
Radiation poisoning. That's all you're gonna get from Area 51, because as way back as 1987, 88, that's where we tested all the nuclear for the jets, for the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, everybody. That's where the nuclear, that's where the big weapons are tested.
Why do you think the United States Navy has a proving ground in the middle of fucking Nevada?
Right. Why would the Navy have any training ground in a desert? Hello?
No, we're not going to talk about that.
Like it's literally in front of your face and nobody sees it. And you can actually drive by it. It's a big sign. It says United States Navy Proving Ground. You drive right by it on the highway.
And here's the thing: the only aliens you're gonna run into are human beings with radiation poisoning. Those are the aliens you're gonna see.
Yes. Because not only did we have to experiment what it does, we had to experiment with what it does to people.
Yep.
And that's not only just a one-off, they had to do the research on the generational effects of it.
Okay, so the whole thing behind
people on the Marshall Island chains when we did atomic explosions there.
So, okay, the whole reason that I'm so severely disabled medically, and why what is common for most women, endometriosis, is so bad and riddled throughout my entire body from my brain all the way down to my toes, is because my first hit was chemical warfare training, where we had to be exposed. And then I spent so much time out in Nevada and New Mexico and Arizona at the proving grounds. I was exposed to radiation. So my whole body I'm very ill. That's what's so horrible. I have to say, okay, conspiracy. Like, the whole reason I'm watched, I believe, is because they want to see how long it's going to take for me to end this world, to leave this world, because I had so much exposure. And that's why I say I'm like a cockroach. You just can't kill me. I won't go. It won't. I have.
What the fuck is Antifa in my life? Get the fuck out of here.
So, I've been brought back to life with the paddles 3 times. So, they just I don't go. I don't cross over. And I believe that's because of the exposure to radiation.
Ona, did you ever get any shots in the military like I did that
Oh my God.
you didn't ask what they were? You were just told to take it and shut up?
Yeah, you weren't allowed to ask. You were told to go and line up, roll your sleeve up, and keep your mouth shut. You know the drill. Roll your sleeve up, stand in line, take your turn, don't talk. There's no talking.
When I was very little, and I don't know, I couldn't tell you what type of clearance my dad had. I can't tell you what he did. All I know is he was well respected. And when I was 10 or 11, I believe it was, not sure. I'd have to look at some things. He walked me through the USS Chicago.
Ooh.
His son, his little boy, he walked me through the USS Chicago. Now, Ona's in there going, ooh, she would know more about what my father's clearance level to be able to do that on an empty boat.
Yeah.
And nobody questioned it.
Yeah, you gotta have clearance. Gotta have clearance, Clarence.
So, did I see any critical infrastructure? If I did, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what the fuck I was looking at. I was
Well, that's why
little.
that's why they let the kids come through, because they know the kids don't know what they're looking at and wouldn't know anyway,
Yeah, I've
right?
got
All I was
pictures of
told
me
was
as a
this:
child
do
sitting on the
not push
bridge of
any
the Iwo
buttons. Do
Jima.
not touch anything. Do
Right.
not push any buttons. Do not turn any wheels.
Yeah,
This
I've
is
got
not a
pictures.
playground. And when your
I've got
military father says this is not a playground, you don't touch shit. You don't
Yeah, I've
fart
got
wrong.
pictures of me when I was like 5 on the bridge of the USS Iwo Jima.
That's cool.
I mean, there are so many different ships, actual ships that I've stood on during naval days. If you don't know what that is, talk to a Navy brat or a naval officer or any member of the military. They'll tell you what naval days are. It's family days, where you bring your family to whatever vessel the Navy says, yeah, you can crawl all over this thing. We don't care. So, but I will never forget walking through that, because I kept thinking there was short people, short people that I'm not. The gantryways, the hatches, they were so small. That to me, little, I was like, there's little people here. And my dad was 5'9", I think, 5'8" or 5'9", and he still had to duck going through those. They're not very big. I don't think there's a submariner that's above the height of 5'10". If they are, wow, I feel sorry for them.
You know what's funny, Aldo, is my dad was on the Ewo, the LPH-2. When I went in, I wound up spending a little bit of time on the Ewo, the LHD-7, the new Ewo.
I think the coolest thing is, my coolest memory, when Top Gun used to be at Miramar, and Ono will laugh at this, because if you've never experienced a Blue Angel show at Miramar and all the equipment they bring out there, I can tell you this: the United States Navy, and I don't know where it went. I don't know if it went into a museum or where it went. I'm still, in my age now of 50, trying to figure out where that aircraft went. The United States Navy had an aircraft, I believe it was an F-15, because it was twin-tailed, that had the Playboy bunny heads on the tail. Now, at the time, I was
Yeah,
little,
that
I
would
didn't know
be
what that
would
was.
be a Strike Eagle. That would totally be.
Do you know which aircraft I'm talking about?
Yeah, the F-15. But
where did it go?
So how old are you? Because what year was this?
This would have been between 85 and 89.
Okay, so there was a moratorium put on tail and nose art, and it all came off, and they weren't allowed to have it. And so what they started doing was the tail art or the nose art moved to the landing gear doors.
Okay.
So they didn't want, that was when, okay, you got to remember, in 1982, when Reagan took office, he made a whole bunch of changes, and the National Organization of Women was riding hard on the Reagan administration, specifically on the military, saying no women should enlist, no women should commission, because it's a dead end job. You cannot make it to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which is the highest rank that you can do in the military and be promoted, unless you've had direct combat experience, right? So now said, since you don't let women into combat, they can never, ever, ever get to Joint Chiefs of Staff. So Reagan started the process by opening combat support. And that's why it took like 20 years to get from combat support for women all the way to actual deployment and fighting on the front lines. And so when that happened, I'm getting back to the tail art. Don't worry.
Okay.
Now, as part of letting women in for combat support, they only let in 150 it was either every 3 months or every 6 months. 150 women would be assigned to combat support across all 4 branches. And so as a result of that, they started taking the nose art and the tail art off because of, remember if you know anything about tail art, if you know anything about nose art, it's for the male gaze. All right. It is not for women.
Right.
It is for the male gaze.
Right.
And so they said it was offensive and it was, workplace hostility and da 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 da. So they had to take it off. And that's why you don't see tail art anymore. It's tucked inside the landing gear doors.
Well, I mean, the absolute most devastating air wing was the ones that had the Jolly Rogers on the tail.
Well, yeah.
Do you remember the only ship that was
History.
able to fly the Jolly Roger? I can't remember which one it is.
Oh, I don't know.
There's only one U.S. Navy ship that is allowed to fly it.
Well, I know there was an air wing that their tail art was the Jolly Roger, and
Let me
they
go
were
Google
a
that real
very decorated air wing. Those men were they did some shit. Like
Yeah,
they harassed Russian aviators for fucking years.
It's the USS Kid.
It's the USS what?
The Kid.
Oh, the Kid. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but with the air wing that had that painted on their tails, they were, Jesus Christ, they were overly aggressive in their interactions with foreign country aviators. Very aggressive. I mean, I'd like to say in the history of that air wing, they were the best of the best at the time. They made those aircraft do things that the mechanics were like, "Oh fuck, are you serious? Fucking killing me, Smalls. Stop it."
They were majorly stressing airframes.
I mean, I can only imagine Ona as a mechanic, if she ever run across one of those airframes, she'd look at it and go, "You motherfuckers, I'm gonna kick you in the nuts. Stop it."
You want to know how we were trained on jet engines?
How's that?
Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Oh my goodness.
That was how we did that when you did your inspections. That was the order of operation: intake, ignition. Intake brings the air in. So there's your suck. Then you compress the air as tightly as you can. That's the squeeze. The fire ignites the compressed air with fuel. There's your bang. And then the exhaust from the engine out the tail is your blow. And that's how inspections were run. You started at the front, did your intake, then your compression, then your engine, and then your exhaust.
So I went to college for aviation, and I'll go digging for it. It's somewhere in a box somewhere down in the basement. I'll go digging for it, and I'll send you a message on Facebook, Ona. I got the opportunity of a lifetime years ago, about 20 years ago, about 20, 25 years ago. I got the opportunity of a lifetime. There was an air show in Kansas, and a gentleman, which was a veteran, he was a Air Force veteran, and he was well-to-do. He had generational wealth. He owned privately a Czechoslovakian MiG two-seater. I got to fly back seat in a Czechoslovakian MiG.
Wow.
best time of my life. I've got pictures of it. I got pictures of me in the G suit. He's walking me through everything. And for 15 minutes, I had the time of my life.
Wow.
He said,
Trying to get a ride on
we're
a
sitting at the end of the
B-17 for
runway,
years.
and he said, are you ready? And before I could say go, that was, he did a combat takeoff.
Oh God.
And I was like laughing.
You didn't throw up? You didn't throw up?
I did not throw up. Howsoever,
Dang.
when
Good for you.
when he did the inverted S maneuver, I did pass out.
Well, yeah, most people do.
I
I've been trying to
did.
get a ride on a B-17.
I did
belly
pass out
gun
on the
for
inverted
years.
S maneuver. I was like, I remember him initially going into it, and then I woke up going, huh! I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And he started laughing. It was just phenomenal. I will never forget that experience. And I can say that any aviator worth their salt, they are a cut above the rest. Physically, they are. Like, physically, I was in my prime, but I still passed out. I was done. That is a very, very physically demanding job when they're in a dogfight, when they're making maneuvers. That is absolutely physically demanding. And my ass in construction couldn't take it. But no, I didn't throw up. No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bit of it. And like I said, it was only about 15 minutes before we landed. And it was just, I will never forget that experience. I won't. I will never forget it. But
super fun.
if anybody ever has an opportunity to go up in an aircraft and ride backseat in one of those aircrafts, pay the money. It was $500 for me to do it.
So I had the opportunity when I got to my base to ride in the D model, which is a two-seater. And by the time they had selected me to go up, I was being hazed so badly. I mean, they went out of their way to hurt me because I was the second woman assigned to that unit. The first woman got pregnant and left the military. She left and didn't want to. She didn't want to go. She did what I did. She says, I will only come back if you send me to a different unit. And they said no, so she got out. I did the same thing when they presented my re-enlistment papers, because we were getting ready to go to Desert Fox, which was or Shield, I'm sorry. Desert Fox, then Desert Shield. The unit was filled with former Marines and former SEAL members and Delta Force, and it was brutal. So she did what I did, but they had me scheduled to go up, and I've posted the picture of me sitting in the F-16. That was my jet that I was responsible for. But that was the same day. I knew if I got in the back of that jet, he was going to make sure that I threw up and passed out. I knew the way they hazed me, the way they did, I just knew. So I said, no, I'm not going up.
Lack of better words, he was going to make you not remember it.
Exactly. And it was not because, it wasn't out of cruelty. It was because they had gotten so used to hazing the women that were coming through that it was just, yeah, this is what we do. I mean, and nobody said anything about it. Nobody made them stop. There was no, it was just known that you're taking a risk. And not the usual risk of going up in a high speed lawn dart, but an actual risk because of the hazing.
I can explain my personal experience. I can explain it till I'm blue in the face. Unless you've done it,
yeah,
you have no look, man. He flipped he flipped that thing 300. He did a snap roll, 360-degree snap roll, and I swear to God, my eyeballs went bloop bloop when they came back.
How did you not throw up? I'm blown away by that.
So I have an iron constitution.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the only thing that actually makes me even go and almost throw up is dog poop. I can't stand it. I don't know why. Just I can't. But no, I didn't, and probably because I spent most of my early years in life on vessels. I grew up in California. I was born in Vallejo, so I spent a lot of time on sea vessels, rolling around and da 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 da. And even though I know that's not even comparable, I think my body was at least used to not steady ground, not not stable motion.
Okay.
But there is one aircraft that I do throw up in.
You were
And
more
still
or
to
less
this day,
born
I
with
don't know
sea
why.
legs.
I cannot ride in a glider.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
have to take motion sickness pills before I get in a glider. I don't know why. Riddle me that one, Ona.
That's odd.
That is odd.
I can go up in any aircraft. I've been up in a lot of aircrafts, rotary aircrafts as well. Never thrown up. The first time I rode in a glider, for whatever fucking reason, between my brain and stomach, something said this is not right, and I threw up. And since then, there was only like 4 other different times after that I've been up in a glider, and every time I took motion sickness pills before I went up in a glider.
The only thing I can think of is that it has something to do with your ears and your ear, your inner ear, not your outside ears, but your way deep down inside.
It could have been. I mean,
That's the only explanation I can think of.
I mean, it could have something to do with the fact that it's different. It's
right.
different, it's different motion because, like when you're in aircraft, you actually have propulsion. You actually have something that is actually propelling you, that is moving.
You can feel that
and
push
the
or
glider
pull,
is right. And gliders
and
are
you can
just
feel
wind.
that twist from the engine. With a glider, none of that's there.
Right. So it's just wind. So everything that it's doing, you feel that lift, that low.
Actually makes sense, because in a glider you sense the motion but you don't feel the motion.
Yep.
Right. Like the best way that I can describe it, because I've been in gliders too, and it's weird that you say that, because like I've flown on airplanes, I've flown in jets, I've flown on the little Cessnas, the little Lear jets, all that.
Right.
I've even been in an F-16. So which I threw up, by the way. And passed out.
At least you admit it. At least you admit it.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, despite the fact that I got sick as hell. But
Look,
like with those gliders, the best way that I can describe that feeling is it's like when you, like, if you've ever been on a roller coaster and you're going all the way up to the top and you feel that, and then that sudden drop,
right.
And then it puts that you feel that moment to where it's almost like zero gravity, and then your body just jumps back to it. And with the gliders, every time it makes those movements like that, to me, that's constantly what it feels like.
Probably
go up in a B-17 belly gunner. You're just hanging under the plane, out in the open, and it's a whole different experience.
Right, and to give Ona a little bit of background, probably the biggest reason I didn't throw up was because the years previous I had spent in many different aircraft, including crop dusters, which crop dusters, as you well know, are rated for aerobatic flight.
Right.
And I had some dick-ass friends that their dads owning a lot of land, they had licenses, and some of the bigger crop dusters that were 2-seaters, I'd go up with them, and them motherfuckers would do some shit. So my body was used to the maneuvers on a certain level.
Okay, yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
Right. So That's probably why I didn't throw up. Howsoever, that didn't absolve me from passing out.
Right.
That my body wasn't used to. My brain wasn't used to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an awesome experience, man. My uncle was in the Air Force for most of my life, and then he actually retired in the Guard. He retired on his 38 year mark from McIntyre Air Force Base in South Carolina. And when he was out there, he was the comp flight chief.
What year was this?
2000s. I mean, I got to South Carolina, and I moved from Wisconsin to South Carolina in 98, and he was still in the Guard then when I was in 98, and I mean, so he retired. When did he retire?
Okay. You said it's McIntyre?
Yep,
There's
McIntyre
not in the U.S. Air Force. You've got Shaw Air Force Base is the only.
Shaw is the active duty Air Force Base. So what McIntyre?
Oh, is this like reserves or something?
Yeah, National Guard. Yeah. So he was active duty. He was active duty for a long time, and then he went from active duty to the National Guard. So what they do in South Carolina is McIntyre is it's Air Force National Guard and it's Army National Guard. So
Okay,
the
what
Army
year
is also there.
2000, right? Okay. So let's see. 80. Oh my God. You would have been there. That's where my first ex-husband, he got out of active duty Air Force when they all came back from the Gulf War.
Right.
Right? And when he got out, he transferred over to the South Carolina National Guard. In 2000, you would have been on base alongside my second ex-husband. What a small freaking world.
Yeah,
What a small world. Oh my God.
Yep, him and my uncle probably actually served together.
I guarantee you did. He was
I
a
never.
So my first ex-husband was a weapons specialist for tactical aircraft, meaning the combat jets that have the AMRAAM missiles and the cluster bombs and the Maverick missile and all that.
Yeah.
So he was in fact, he is in the Guinness Book World of Records for 1987 or 88, I think.
Yeah.
For the most sorties successfully completed in, I think it was 45 minutes, and they had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different weapons configurations. And this was all to show off, because this was right before, I don't remember what, anyway, it had to do with Jimmy Carter executive order for rapid deployment of all aircraft, military wide. So the deal was you had to get 12 jets up in the air in 15 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So they ran for like 6 or 8 hours, and I think they ran like 45,000 different configurations over that time. And he's in the Book of World Records.
That's crazy.
Look up the South Carolina Shaw Air Force Base Gamecocks.
That's crazy.
That was the name of their unit.
Mm-hmm.
We were the Talons. Huh?
You are the same age as one of my brothers. And I wonder if at some point you two didn't cross paths. Because you might have.
Yeah, and that's crazy because if you're, that's crazy because if he,
I'll have to send you a message. I won't, because I won't say last name in alive, but his first name was Eric.
Yeah, that's a common name in the Air Force.
Yeah,
that's crazy too
but
because it's like that. Like,
his middle name's not.
But what are the odds of running into somebody on a freaking TikTok live that probably crossed paths with my ex-husband?
yeah, and like I didn't serve, but he did, and he was, you know, he was in Air Force for a long time. Like I said, like he retired out of McIntyre.
In the Air Force, most people are either lifers or they serve 4 years and they're out.
Yep.
There doesn't seem to be. There's no in between.
Yeah, and he, you know, and that was the thing with my uncle. Like, you know, he did his active duty. He did his active duty stint and all that. And when the cool thing about it, and the cool thing about it, how it happened with him, even though he retired in the Guard, so
Because my family has no idea what I did in the military. Everyone thought I was a mechanic. Dude, you know what I did? For 6 weeks, I learned how to change tires, and then they sent me off to intelligence. So on paper, I'm supposed to be a crew chief, a mechanic. But in reality, in secret intelligence reality, I didn't do any of that shit. I didn't touch a wrench. I didn't get dirt. In fact, the last 2 years that I was in the military, I did not get dirty.
Of a term that I was like, what did you do though? And he goes, I did a lot.
Yeah. Well, he can say I did a lot of stuff.
Like even
when I came home, I told everybody, I'm just a mechanic. It was just a mechanic. I was just on the flight line. I couldn't tell anybody until 2016. I couldn't talk about anything that I did. The only thing I was allowed to say, the only words I was approved was I was enlisted in the Air Force as a mechanic on aircraft. I couldn't say what base I was at. I couldn't say what.
Stationed at one point in Thailand. Why the hell is an Air Force security personnel in Thailand during the Vietnam War? Or
because he would have been deployed out of the Vietnam bases.
It would have been out of Guam. But I didn't even know the Air Force had a presence in Guam. I thought it was just Navy.
Oh my God, we have a tiny. Okay, let me tell you. When the one thing that nobody wants to do as a crew chief or a pilot is land anywhere near Midway, because it's one strip that you got to make it off of, and it's very you don't have a runway. I mean, it is finite, because at the end of the runway you're going into the water.
Right. I just that was one thing I tried to look up, and I couldn't find any details about it. My wife loved that show.
Okay, so when that first came on TV, my mother would invite me over to her house for quote dinner. And then we would, watch this show. And the whole time we're watching the show, she's asking me questions about the military, about intelligence, about national security. And I mean, I guess at some point she guessed or figured out that the reason I didn't talk about the military was because I wasn't really a mechanic. So I was lying. Well, of course I was lying. I was required. If I didn't lie, I would go to jail. I'd go to jail. They would scoop me up so fast and prosecute me for what is it called? Treason. It would be called treason. Yeah. So I never talked about it. And that's why my sister's on here on TikTok going, I'm a liar. I'm making stuff up. I mean, she believes that I changed tires. She believes that I was in engines. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I was out on the flight line doing crew chief stuff for 6 weeks before they pushed me into intelligence.
and that's what these people don't understand, right? Like there is jobs that you do there that you cannot tell people. Like that's really what they don't understand. Like
Not one word, not a
right, like you
single
know,
word.
with my uncle being in charge of Comflight over there as long as he's been in the military, like 30 something years now. And there was even shit that my aunt was not able to know what he chief in the US Air Force. That's all she you know, like she knew some of the stuff of what he did, but a good majority of the things that he did, she didn't know and she didn't ask.
So,
Like
Ona, I just sent you a Facebook message. I don't know if you can look at it while you're on TikTok.
Okay.